Goedemiddag allemaal, fijn. Kijk eens, allemaal talen door elkaar. We beginnen heel even in het Nederlands voor de introductie. Voordat we in het Engels overgaan met onze nieuwe trainer Oscar García. Na afloop van de persconferentie schudt hij ook nog even een handje bij jullie allemaal. Dus daar is ook nog tijd voor. Okay, let's continue in English.
Yes,
the
please.
first one would like to ask a question. Shall we start with Floris on the left, please?
Hola, Oscar. There are different types of head coaches. How would you describe yourself as a head coach?
I had a very good experience with the coaches I had as a player, so I took the best of all of them, but I prefer to not say which kind of coach I am. I prefer the players that I coach can explain better than me which kind of coach I am. So yeah, I'm very demanding, because if you are not demanding, you cannot reach good results. So if I have to choose one word, maybe it will be demanding.
Demanding.
Yeah.
Okay. You have watched several videos of played matches of the first squad. What did you notice seeing those videos, and what is your main point of attention for the coming weeks?
Yeah, we didn't have much time because we were focused on Den Bosch. So at the beginning of the week, but yeah, we with my staff, we watch a lot of games, because we wanted to focus on the main things that we can change in a few in a short period like we have now.
Yeah. What tactical changes can we expect in the first team? Can we expect the same as you did at Young Ajax?
I hope in terms of winning, yes, but no, but yeah, tactically we know that how Ajax is used to play. I like to have the same philosophy, because I grew up in Barcelona, so I know more or less this style of playing. What I want is to improve the players, that to give them confidence another time, and yeah, and to show everybody they are good players, and they are players capable of winning games for Ajax.
Yeah. How is the fitness of the squad?
The fitness of a squad, you mean the injured players? Or yeah, we couldn't recover any new player, so Bout is ill, he's sick, so he couldn't train for the last 2 days, but also he's suspended. Kasper, he didn't train for the last 2 days, because he had stomach problems, so it's a question mark if he will be able to play or to be in the squad. And yeah, Takura is continuing individual training, so he will not be available. Oliver, he will not be available, so all the others long-term injury players, they are still recovering.
Have fun tomorrow.
Sorry?
Have fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeroen.
Yeah, good afternoon. How is it? You're in charge for 5 days now at Ajax. How does it feel to be on the most important and hottest seat of this club?
For me, it's a big honor. For me, it's like training Barcelona. Barcelona is the club of my heart. I had many teammates coming from this club. The aura, the philosophy, everything involved in this club is amazing. So for me, it's a great honor to be here.
Yeah, because Barcelona is the club where you grew up, and that's in your heart. But Ajax has a connection with Barcelona. Your brother played here. What was Ajax to you before a month ago?
When you realize, yeah, you think about many things. Yeah, my brother was the last one to wear the number 14, so it means a lot for the family. Also, the aura, what I said, the aura of this club. When you are here, you realize how big is this club, how important it is for the people. So the minimum that we can do is to give everything to help this club to take it where it belongs. So our obsession is to make feel the fans proud of what we are doing, how we are fighting for everything, how we are fighting for every ball, but playing the style of playing of Ajax.
Yeah. When Jordi asked you to take over, was there a second of doubt?
First, he asked me if I would like to help the first team. Yes, my answer was yes, of course. Yeah, was not planned. We were preparing the Bosque, so yeah, it was. When he told me that maybe some things will happen, but they wanted to know my opinion. It's not, they didn't call me to say, okay, you will take the first team. So yeah, they wanted to know my opinion, and I said yes.
And how did it go from asking your opinion to being the head coach?
Yeah, he called me on Sunday. We were at the meeting room with my staff, and he told me that maybe this can happen if I will accept, and I say yes, and then after 2 hours he confirmed to me that everybody agreed to this decision.
Final question: what can you do in 8 matches? How hard is it to have an impact?
Yeah, but in football, the word for me, most important word is to adapt. You have to adapt, because 4 days ago I was preparing the game with young Ajax, with young players. So as a coach, you have to be prepared for everything, and you have to adapt as fast as possible, because see, now I'm the third coach in this season, and maybe at the beginning nobody would expect it. This situation, so you need to adapt as quick as possible.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, Oscar.
Hello.
Welcome. In the Netherlands, coaches who are inspired by Johan Cruyff, they like to build up with short passes from the goalkeeper to defenders as well. When I looked at your images from Sparta Rotterddam, especially, I saw a lot of more long balls from the goalkeeper winning the second balls. Is that something that you firmly believe in, or is that just adapting to the type of players that you had over there?
Obviously, I grew up in Barcelona with this philosophy. If you saw the games with the young Ajax were similar. I can show you many build-ups from the back with also with Sparta Rotterddam, but sometimes you don't have the centre backs with a good first pass, so you have to adapt. So, as I said before, you have to adapt to the players we have. It's important for me, because I don't want to put on troubles my players. I want to take the best of them. So I know their strength, their weaknesses. So what we will try is to play with the players who can help us the most to the team. But the philosophy is always there, but always as a coach you need to see which kind of player you have. You cannot play with wingers if you don't have wingers. You cannot play 4-3-3. You don't have good wingers to play in this position, or people who knows how to play in this position. So always you need to adapt a little bit. Yeah.
Is that something you've learned along the way in your coaching career? Because obviously when you come from Barcelona, you like the tiki-taka football, but if you don't have Messi, Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, it may be different. Is that something that changed in your way of seeing the game?
Yes, that was one of the reasons because I left Barcelona as a coach. So because I wanted to learn from other philosophies, from other methodology. So I was also in Red Bull, where I learned a lot about the gegenpressing and all these kind of things. So yeah, I think it's good for a coach to go abroad, to coach abroad, because you can learn many things, and you can coach many players with different nationalities, with different mentalities. I think as a coach I grew up a lot going abroad.
Can you describe a little bit your first days over here? How did the schedule look? Did you make long training days, long sessions over here?
Yeah, I used to train like this wherever I was. I was not focused on what they were doing before. Obviously, you have to control the charge of the trainings because we don't want to have injuries. But obviously, we want to train really hard because you have to compete really hard. It's not that if you train a little bit lazy, you cannot compete at the highest level. So I think maybe one player can do it in the world, but not the others.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Robert. Ja.
Okay, Oscar. You know, people have been talking about your track record, that you also left many times after a short period, but we also know that it was also due, you know, to the illness of your daughter. Can you take us into that and how difficult it has been in your coaching career, knowing that you had a very difficult and very painful fight also at home?
Yeah, if you don't go through this situation, it's difficult to feel it. But yeah, it was a very difficult time. So the good thing is that I could decide when to leave these clubs. Only one I was sacked, but all the others I decided when it was the best time for me to leave. And it's always difficult because you have this in mind. But when I am focused on what I like, I am only focused on this. Then when I am training, I'm focused on training. When we are playing, I'm focused on playing. So it's my passion, and yeah, my daughter for sure knew this, and yeah, she understood perfectly that my life is this, and yeah. But also the good thing, I spent the last month with her, close to her, so I had this option to say her goodbye.
If you enter the stadium, of course, Jordi told us as well, you know, when he came here, it was because it's his father, but you see Johan Cruyff everywhere, you know, you can maybe even feel him around him. Can you tell us how much of an inspiration he was in your time as a player and still now, because you're also playing in the Johan Cruyff Arena next Saturday?
Not only him, also Louis van Gaal, many pictures of him, Rinus Michels also, so a good connection with Barcelona, also some pictures of Frank Rijkaard, also was coaching there. So yeah, but I know how important Johan is here, but because I know how important he is in Barcelona. So he changed everything there in Barcelona. Everybody loved him, so to be here in his club, for me it's also a thing that I feel proud of it. Yeah.
I don't know if you follow tennis a lot in Spain, you know, but you had, of course, Rafael Nadal, and you have now Alcaraz. Do you like more the attitude of Nadal, who was working hard, you know, and Alcaraz, who has maybe more the magic? Is it a combination of a player you want? What is your style?
My style, my perfect player should be both. So I cannot decide for one, because Nadal was not only fighting. I think to be number one like he was, he has to have quality, and also Alcaraz. If you want to be at the top, you cannot be only very good, but you have to work hard. So I don't know nobody that can be number one in the world without working hard. But obviously you have to have the technique, but if you don't work hard, you will never reach this level.
Gracias.
Willem. Ja.
Hello, Mr. García.
Hello.
Except from the tragedy with your daughter, you had also some fights with clubs.
Yeah.
You had some fights about players, the quality of players, and so on. Are you a difficult person?
Depends on what you think that it's a difficult person.
And what do you think is a difficult person?
A difficult person, it's a person that that is not adapting where he is, that he makes troubles to the people. So I don't think I'm a difficult person. As a player, maybe it was difficult, to deal with me or to coach me. So, but then this for me now it's an advantage, not for the coaches I had, because maybe I was a headache. But now I know better the mindset of the players, if the player is playing or is not playing, and these kind of things. So I was a player not difficult to deal with. Yeah.
How do you see the quality of the squad here? Because you had some, for example, in Brighton, you had some discussions with the board about the quality of the players, but there is a lot of discussion in the press about the quality of this side with Ajax. There's no number 6 and so on and so on. It goes on for all the year. What is your opinion of the quality of this
I can
team?
explain what happened in Brighton. It was not the quality of the players, because at the end of the season we reached the playoffs to go to the Premier League, but then the owner decided to sell most of the players, so it was not about the quality of the players of that squad. It was because they wanted to change many things. And here, if these players played in the past good games against good opponents, I don't think it's only about the quality of the players. I think when I speak about quality of the players, it's not the quality technically or tactically. I mean, for me, the quality of the players should be tactically, technically, physically, and mentally. If you struggle in one of these 4, then you have a problem to compete at the highest level.
So you think that many of the problems are mostly maybe physically and mentally?
I don't think there is I don't know the name in English, but it's a pattern that all the players have the same problem. I think you have to take it individually. Some of them can have one problem, some of them can have another problem. So the job of the coach is to know better these players and to try to help in the way that their weaknesses, to keep improving their weaknesses and to reinforce the strength of them.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hola, Oscar.
Hi.
About the lineup,
Yeah.
you have to make an impact because you have only 8 matches. Do you think you have to change a couple of players to have an impact? Should we expect some changes in the lineup?
But they don't used to play the same players all the time. So they normally the last matches the coach also changed some players. Obviously, we want to not to start, because I don't believe in only on the starters, because if you see, most of the game are decided in the second half. So sometimes the most important players are on the bench, because then the opponent can be tired, and then we can take advantage of this. So we don't prepare the game only for the starters, because for me it's a mistake, because it's what I said, now with 5 changes you can change the way of the game. So for me it's not important the starting 11. For me it's important the 16 players that they are going to play.
And you had a question before about the tactics. Do you think you should switch the formation? For example, play with 2 pivots, which you did at Celta and Stade Reims, I guess. Is that something that's needed to have an impact?
For me, the formation it's only at the beginning, before the whistle of the referee, because then what we need to control to be well structured. The structure should be good to play and to be prepared when we lose the ball. So the structure for me is much more important than the formation, because the formation, there are many formations. You can win with all the formation, but the structure for me is very important. And the formation, you will see the formation maybe at the beginning, but after some players can switch positions. So you can play with different height of the pitch. So for me, the formation, I know the style of playing of Ajax and Barcelona are very similar, and we will respect this. Yes.
And did you change the structure the last couple of training sessions?
Yeah.
So it's not similar as the plays we're used to.
Similar to
what they played before. It's a different structure.
Sometimes at some moments of the game, yes.
Okay. Okay, and about the staff, your Spanish assistants came with you to the first team. Who decided to bring also Kiki Musampa and let Danny Lanzaat stay as assistant coach?
All the decisions are made by the club, and I agree. So yeah, Kiki was there before our arrival. I think he spoke with Louis van Gaal to come here, and at my time at the Young Ajax, he was really helpful for us, and he knows a lot of people here, a lot of players from the youth department. So in this situation, he was really helpful. He was a connection with the first team also. So, and with Danny, Jordi knows perfectly him. Also, we wanted to have someone involved in the first team before. So yeah, we decided to keep him, and we are really happy with them.
Last thing, you worked for about a month with the second team, with the under-21.
Sorry?
With the under-21 team, you worked the last the last weeks.
Yeah.
What are the players that convinced you so much that you will bring them to the first squad now?
Yeah, they have to earn their place. I will not give any gift or any present to nobody that they don't deserve. So if we want to have good players for the first team, they have to suffer, they have to fight for the place, and not to make so easy, because then when there is a difficult game in the first team, I don't want to see lazy players. So I know we have very good players. There are some players already in the first team that they were playing at the beginning in the Young Ajax. And now in the Young Ajax we were playing with players of 16 years old that they need to develop, they need to improve, also like the players of the first team. But of course we know the philosophy of Ajax, and the good thing is that we know the players in the Young Ajax who can help the first team.
Job, you'll be the last one, second row.
Oscar, welcome. You have watched the games of some games back of Ajax. Did you watch the games back only of this season, or also of the previous season?
Also the previous season.
Okay, and what were your conclusions? If you?
Yeah, I saw the hand of Farioli in some games, some different things that maybe in the philosophy of Ajax is not used to see, or you cannot see in this proper style, but he got very good results. I think it's a fantastic coach. We wanted to see the players what changed from one season to another one, so that was one of the reasons that we wanted to see some games of the past.
Okay. And you are taking over from Fred Grim.
Mm-hmm.
Did you also talk to him to get some more information about how he experienced things with the team?
Yeah, I met him when I was appointed as a Young Ajax coach. I know he's a very good person, a good coach. Also, I had a good reference of him because when my brother was playing here, I think he was the goalkeeper coach. So all what I heard from him was positive, very good. We didn't have the relationship because it was more with Urbi and Kiki Musampa with the first team, but he always told me that I was more than welcome to come there and to speak with them, so the relationship was really good.
But did you talk to him specifically about the last weeks of him, about some?
No, because when there was these changes, I didn't see him. I think he's taking some days off, so I didn't have the chance to do it, but I did it with all the staff remaining staff here.
And one more question about Farioli. Apart from the tactics that he changed a little bit compared to the style of Ajax, he implemented also like a very strong mentality on the team. and a very professional mentality of after the game recuperation. You know, are you planning to reinstall that as well?
I don't know all what he did, but we have changed some things. Yes.
Thank you.
I
Could you tell us what
No.
you no? We will ask the players. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that's the last one. Thank you all for your questions. And as I mentioned, there's still time to shake some hands.